Hi, Mike Roman here, and it's Ask the Guru Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about weddings, okay? Weddings are a big deal today. First, let me thank Martin Buckingham, the Gourmet Group of Toronto, for your wonderful comment on our video section. Please keep commenting, everyone. We need it. You share ideas. So, selling weddings. I mean, some people like them, some people don't, some people actually hate them. I don't know how to answer that question, but today we're going to talk about how you lose some weddings. Kind of a negative thought, but I want to share with you, from my point of view, what you do sometimes as a salesman. Inadvertently, you don't mean to, but you lose the wedding because of what you say or don't do. So selling weddings is never an easy task. In fact, selling a wedding to a group of shoppers is very complex, since each member of the group usually has, well, their own agenda and ideas on what constitutes a successful, perfect wedding. This is the cross we have to bear. A wedding salesperson needs to be a consultant, a protector, a psychologist, and a coach to all the people that make up this group of shoppers. You got to turn them into buyers, which is hard work. So here are 10 ways to lose a wedding. Discuss this with your team afterwards, because you may not agree with me, but I want to get your gray matter and your heads thinking about how you talk to people, okay? Number one way to lose a wedding is you pay too much attention to any one particular person, including the bride, during the sales presentation if there's more than a bride there. Everybody in that group is important, and you don't know at this point who's the paying for the wedding, who's the influencer, who's the coach, who's negative about you. You got to go slow at first, so be very careful. Second thing is the salesman fails to create and highlight and sell romance. I don't know how to answer that, except that everything you do, say, and act has to be feeling romantic, okay? And filled with the joy of love. Anyway, you know what I'm referring to. The third thing is you talk too much about food. Instead of food as entertainment, food as romance, food as a statement from the bride and groom. It's very natural for a salesman to talk about food, but don't go to it right away. Talk about the way that things are going to look and feel and smell, and the happiness of all the guests as they come to the wedding. Fourth is if you as a salesperson or your company fail to meet deadlines. Deadlines for all sorts of things. If they are expecting a proposal from you, you got to get it to them when you promised or when they asked for it. So deadline missing loses weddings, okay? Here's a tough one. Number 5. If you yourself give your opinions too soon, even when asked by the bride, okay, or the father of the bride or the mother of the bride, you got to play cool at first, because you just don't know how deep the mud is. You don't know who's who and what's what. So be careful of how you answer anything too soon in your relationship with this particular buying group. Number 6 is you assume who the decision maker really is amongst the people in front of you or who you're talking to on the phone. You don't know. It's very hard early on to know who's going to really pay for the wedding. Is it the bride? Is it the grandmother? Are the parents? So you just don't know. So play cool. Never assume that you know who's going to be the person you have to court to get the sale and get the money. Number 7 is when you forget to paint an emotional, happy picture. Sort of like, Mary, as your guests enter the tent, they're going to be greeted by the fragrance of this. They'll see this. You need to get into the emotions of what people do when they eat and when they're thinking about eating, when they go to a party and so forth. Number 8 is if you yourself don't read the knot.com or other wedding websites. How can you really sell to people who have already read this material? And there's 10,000 things out there that say what to ask your caterer when you go in for a wedding presentation. So you should know what they're going to ask and have your answers all ready to go, okay? This is a group project, by the way, not just individual. The whole office should work on this. Number 9 is you tell prospects that you handle a lot of weddings. Now just think about that. You're in a hospital, the doctor walks in before your operation and says, hey, there's no problem, because today alone I'm doing 7 of these operations, so I really know what I'm doing. I don't know if that would give me, and perhaps you, the most confidence in the world that this doctor is going to do exactly what I want. Every bride, wants to think they're the only wedding in the whole world that day, okay? So be careful how you answer that, even though it may be factual that you do a lot of weddings. If you forget to pay number 10, extra attention to the bride, well, then you're going to pay the penalty. It's when you do it, it's how you do it that becomes very important. Now, sit back, and here are two of my favorite sales scripts when dealing with a bride. At least I like them. So just picture this. I'm in front of the unit talking to them about their wedding, and here's how it goes. So let me take a moment, Mary and Alex, and explain what your guests will experience as they enter the ballroom. First, they're going to be greeted by our team of tuxedo professional captains and servers who will offer them champagne in trendy tulip stemware served from floral garnished silver passing trays. Next, your guest will see the amazing table settings with the specialty linen and flatware you will have selected. We are spacing the tables, Mary and Alex, in such a manner that will permit each guest to have a perfect view of the bride and groom as they enter as husband and wife for the first time. A simple script, ladies and gentlemen, but it has a lot of, I think, emotion to it. I like to think that at least. Here's another one, okay? And this deals with this whole concept of, well, you listen to the script and you see what we're doing. Before we discuss our wonderful menus, I'd like to share with you how our company develops, creates, and presents our ever-changing menus. First, our executive chef continually researches the latest food and beverage trends, both in the U.S. and internationally, to make sure that our company just sort of leads other caterers with the most, okay? So, when you think about scripting for your sales presentations to brides, you have to rehearse them. You have to think about them carefully. I suggest you actually, I know there's a lot of groups watching this video right now in your offices, you got to role play with each other. You got to really practice and keep thinking about what it is you're going to be doing when you get in front of that particular bride. So just keep remembering that weddings are the only true recession-proof events we can offer and sell. Yes, they most often are filled with client angst and last-minute changes and emotional chaos, but they are the lifeblood of most successful catering operations. Thanks. I just want to say to you that there really has never been a better time to be a caterer. So go out and sell something today, okay? Thanks much. Have a good day.